So, Pokemon Showdown is apparently not working today, and I finally have a day off to just sit back, relax, record, make some videos. But, you know, this is usually what happens when I have a day off to record, something goes wrong. So, to not lose out on this wonderful opportunity, we are on a battle simulator. This has probably existed for a while because it only goes up to the 6th generation, which is, you know, it's something else, but, really, what I really want to say here is, I already tested this out with like putting full team. All right, can you want to listen to me? Here we go. I've already like tested out 2 full teams. I just quickly threw together, and this thing is something else. So obviously, I think we all know in this situation, Scizor probably wins this fight. I mean, it's Blissey. Scizor is a very, very strong physical attacker. But according to this, Blissey beats Scizor like every single time. So, well, I guess not every single time, but they keep giving it Fire Blast, and in a lot of these scenarios, Blissey just Fire Blasts Scizor to death. And, you know, in a competitive battle, you might see Fire Blast on a Blissey, but you're probably not going to. So what we're going to do is we're going to go look at some of my old battles that I've had and take the teams from those battles and see if I would have won or lost according to this. Okay, so according to this battle, I led off with an Archeops and they led off with an Evire. And, you know, if we just quickly go through, looks like Evire's scared out probably because of Earthquake, goes into Dusknoir. I switch on to Typhlosion, avoid a Will-O-Wisp, I go for Eruption. Dusknoir either takes me out, yeah, it looks like he takes me out, but he has like a sliver of HP left. I go back to Archeops. What did I do here? Did I predict like a switch, or did I just... I don't know what I was predicting. We go to Bouffalant, Evire comes in, Scyther, we do some stuff, Archeops comes back out, does some stuff, Feraligatr versus Slowking, then a Mesprit, then we got Gallade that got frozen, and a Sandslash, and then a Slowking, and I won the battle very narrowly at the end with Slowking versus Feraligatr. Okay, so that's what we know about this one. We're going to see how this one turns out. Okay, so I input the team, and as you can clearly see, I've put the 2 leads in front, and as you can tell by the order of the Pokemon that were placed here, this thing won't let you do the dedicated lead slot and or anything else, so I guess this is what we're working with. Predictions going in, because I'm assuming Sandslash is going to be fighting Scyther here. This is either going to have U-turn and actually be able to U-turn out, or it's just getting killed by a Rock Slide or Stone Edge, or Stone Edge is going to miss, or something stupid, but we'll see what happens. So, Scyther goes for X-Scissor, does 37%, and Sandslash hits Stone Edge and kills Scyther, because there's no such thing as a Violite or defensive spreads on here. So in comes Feraligatr, goes for Aqua Tail, and takes off the other 63%. In comes Slowking, does Earthquake and Psychic. Psychic's doing more damage to Feraligatr than it's doing to Slowking. So I'm assuming Feraligatr is going to go down, which he does not, because for some reason it swaps over to Scald instead of Psychic, even though it's doing so much damage. And I don't think this thing knows how to switch out, so there's no predictions here. So Feraligatr then goes for Ice Punch to knock out Slowking. So in comes Gallade. It outspeeds Feraligatr and uses Low Sweep to knock it out. In comes Dusknoir. Oh, okay, it does know how to switch out, so We took it out for Bouffalante. It gets Shadow Punch, but nothing happens. Bouffalante then goes for Earthquake, does 30%. Dusknoir goes for Brick Break. Yeah, so Dusknoir's going to end up killing Bouffalante off. In comes Archeops. Goes for Acrobatics for 21%. Knocks out. Comes Evire. Evire gets one shot by Earthquake. And then into Mesprit, takes over half to Acrobatics. Does a lot with Ice Beam. The Fetus would apply here because it's way under half health. So that would be a very dead I lost track because I was trying to think what would happen in this video. This would set up Stealth Rock, and this would U-turn out, going into probably for Alligator to scare this out, or Dusknoir to burn it. But, like, you know, it's so weird. Or maybe even Mesprit, but... Alright, so where were we? So it knocks out Mesprit, even though it really shouldn't at all. The foe sent out Magmortar. It gets almost one shot by Earthquake, but return KOs with a Thunderbolt. In comes Typhlosion, and instead of going for Eruption or Flamethrower or any fire move, it decides to do Extrasensory the Magmortar for the win. So I still won, I guess, in this this rundown, even though, you know, this was something else. But yeah, just well, alright, I don't know why I said the whole Extrasensory. I thought I was fighting Evire because of the Thunderbolt here, but yeah. Alright, so that was something else. We'll see what the rest of the battles title. Okay, so for Battle 2, I'm leading off with a Xatu, while my cousin Connor is leading off with a Roserade. And we're going to see, again, how this battle turns out. Just go through it very slowly. Looks like Registeel's being annoying, healing up. Xatu's something else. Xatu seems to have given him a bit of issues. Ampharos comes in. Looks like it's tearing his team apart. Go to Kanga, get knocked out. He gets knocked out, he gets knocked out. Looks like I win. Brave Birding at the end against his Scrafty with Honchkrow. Alright, so I set up Battle 2, and the sprite on Scrafty is so big. Oh my god, it's like Dynamax existed, oh jeez, how long ago did X and Y come out? Oh god, actually, let's find out. 2013, so 6 years ago? 6 years ago? Alrighty. Okay, so normally we let off with Xatu, and they let off with Roserade, so this is a good matchup. I have dual stab coverage, super effective coverage over Roserade, but also Magic Bounce, so Roserade wouldn't be able to set up anything without setting up on its own side, and just, you know, put me to sleep, anything like that. So, favorable matchup. Roserade would have probably swapped out. I'm assuming probably into a Scavalier because it's very strong. That or maybe Swampert. But I think Xatu would have stayed in and probably Ear Slashed or Psychicked. So, with that being said, let's find out what actually happened. So, we lead off with Hypno against Swampert. Hypno does about 30% with a Psychic, and Swampert does over half with Earthquake. So Swampert is below half health, but my Hypno does go down. So we send in Kangaskhan, who does the job of cleaning up with Double Edge. In comes Scrafty. And we switch out for Honchkrow. So Honchkrow gets high jump kicked for 73%. Retaliates with a Brave Bird, and Honchkrow does faint. Okay, so it's now going to be Registeel versus Snorlax. So Registeel gets a critical hit with Hammer Arm, doing 62%, and Snorlax just goes for the EQ, does about 40. Registeel is still faster, so that's something. And then just finishes off Snorlax. In comes Ampharos, and the foes So the speed rose from Hammer Arm. Excuse me. I was like, how does Ampharos not outspeed Registeel after a Hammer Arm? It's speed rose. Okay, so Registeel goes for Earthquake, does under half to Ampharos. Ampharos retaliates back with Focus Blast. Does 52%, but is not enough to knock it out. Registeel goes for another Earthquake, does about half again. Ampharos just finished it off with a T-Bolt. In comes Roserade, goes for a Sludge Bomb. Ampharos is down. Send out Xatu. The foe withdrew Roserade into Dusclops. Drill back. So I go for drill back. Dusclops takes a whopping 28% because if you didn't notice, I've already knocked off its Violite. We go for Shadow Ball now. Okay. Do 50% to the Dusclops. Dusclops fires back and gets a crit with Shadow Ball doing 93% to us. I'm crying. I can't. Oh, we didn't go down. Didn't we get Sludge Bomb? No, Ampharos got Sludge Bomb. We just drill pecked and killed. Oh no, I got lost in the fact that I was dying of laughter and crying. Alright, so we swap on to Kangaskhan. Absorb the Shadow Ball. Kangaskhan goes for Rock Slide and it finishes off Dusclops. In comes the Scavalier. Kangaskhan goes for Hammer Arm. Gets that nice speed boost, boys. Gets hit with a very powerful Mega Horn. Uses Hammer Arm once more. Scavalier uses Iron Head, gets the KO. In comes Xatu, Drill Peck for 26%. It's still alive after all of that. Man. And Scavalier finishes us off with an Iron Head. So that means Roserade and the Scavalier on their side were still alive. And we lost, even though obviously in the battle I saw that I've won. So I don't know, I guess it's a lot to take into consideration when you go up against Dynamax Pokemon. No wonder why they were banned. Alright, so the last one we're going to do is Gen 6. I felt this was fitting because the simulator caps out at Gen 6 versus Mikachu. And for some reason, if I'm remembering correctly, I think this is the lead Pokemon and not this. So I feel like they're gonna lead Kanga. Okay, yeah, okay. I remember something being weird about the battle recorder for this generation. Alright, so Talonflame, this was an in-game team battle if I remember correctly. So get through all of this. We will see that I think Mikachu wins this battle. Yeah, I don't think there's any way Vivillon took on a Kanga at the end. Zoomeril, I mean, might have been able. Nope, that's dead. And then we got an Aurorus that is 4 times weak to fighting, which is just gonna die. So yeah, I lost that battle. We lost with Kangaskhan, Mega Kangaskhan at the end, but I don't think that the simulator takes into consideration Mega Evolution, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so we're back for 6th Gen. I'm sorry, I still can't help myself after that second battle. That was really good. So normally we let off with Chestnut and Mikachu let off with Kangaskhan. So Kangaskhan's still the lead. This time we're leading off with the Zoomeril. Prediction is Kangaskhan is gonna probably double edge twice and take a lot of recoil damage, and Azumarill is gonna do no damage because it doesn't take into consideration abilities. So no huge power. Maybe it's gonna scald or something odd. But I don't know. Maybe I can win this time around. All right. So let's see. Double edge does a critical hit, whopping 74%. It takes 24% recoil. And Azumarill goes for Focus Blast and misses. So Kangaskhan uses Earthquake to finish it off. In comes Chestnut. Okay, so it's like the actual battle now. Go for a double edge and does 38% hit with 12% recoil. Chestnut goes for Hammer and gets that speed boost, boys. It takes it out. And Klefki comes out. So Chestnut then goes for Earthquake, doing a whopping 72%. And Klefki goes for Psychic, doing 47 to Chestnut. So I guess it barely hangs in there. Instead of finishing off Klefki, though, it swaps out into Talonflame to take the Flash Cannon. Loses 20% of its health. I feel like that's a little off. Your Talonflame used Flare Blitz. Klefki faints, and you take 62% from recoil. I feel like there's something a little off here. I did 71 damage, which translates apparently to 28%, but I take 62% of my health for recoil? It says Klefki was hit, so... Alright, in comes Greninja. We withdraw Talonflame, go back into Chestnut and get hit with Ice Beam, so Chestnut faints. Comes Vivillon, and Greninja Okos with Acrobatics. Okay, so in comes Goodra. Greninja, instead of going for Ice Beam, goes for Acrobatics and does 35%. It takes 55% to a Dragon Pulse. It goes for another Acrobatics and then dies to a Dragon Pulse. In comes Bergmite. We switch into Talonflame, who is going to eat an Ice Fang, faint because it did 168 damage to itself with recoil damage. In comes Aurorus. It's going to go for Ancient Power, and that kills off Bergmite. In comes Heliolisk, goes for Focus Miss, actually hits, takes out Aurorus with one hit. In comes Goodra, it goes for a round, and then gets Dragon Pulsed. Heliolisk uses Thunderbolt, and takes out Goodra. So, I still lost that one, which is, you know, it's unfortunate. What can you do? I guess Go-Go is just the superior Pokemon. But what was up with... And I mean, seriously here. Chestnut uses Earthquake. Klefki is hit for 184 damage and goes down 72%. And then you withdraw it. You outspeed it because of your speed boost from Hammer Arm. I just don't know what to say at this point. That's going to be the video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.